book. John Steinbeck was, when you read this, you're not going to believe, never have heard of it anywhere. If you weren't in the 20s and 30s reading Saturday Review, you don't even know about it, but I have a copy of it. And I think we ought to kind of circulate it, because a lot of white people feel that way. Only a superior race, he said. He said that all their actions and what you do to them when they just do this and this and that proves that they're superior. This is what he says. And so I love that guy.
I was going to say, if the problem comes in now, though, we're so far removed from knowing who we are.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying, I'll tell you what's going to happen. A guy told me one simple thing, and it's rung in my ear. He said, Jerry, he's a poet and a singer, black brother. He said, Jerry, when they broke up our community, the shooting started. And so I thought, what I would say today, and what I told Lola, that I would say the things that I thought about, bringing a little bit of my background so you would know that I was authentic, tell you some of the battles I fought, tell you what kind of a mother I tried to be, to say to you that the best way to stop the shooting is going to be to get our community back. And if anybody can do it, it's the women. And so that should be number one. It's number one with me now. Because my thing that you're coming to in February, that's what it's going to be about. But not only with one race, it's going to be with the Japanese, and you'll see the reasons why I did it and all that. All of it tends to this thing is that I want to turn it into a peace mission, and we're going to try to get some funding and go around, bring it back to Kyoto, bring it to Tokyo, bring it to Paris, because the French and the Japanese are like this. They do everything together. And you go to Japan, you'll see French restaurants where they have gone there and trained. That food tastes just like a Frenchman. Everything's French except the waiters and the people that own it. Fantastic French restaurants. But I'm saying, and they design clothes out of this world that you wouldn't believe. But they love jazz music, and they have a whole city. If you don't go forget the name of the city, but all the jazz musicians go there. And so I'm saying they're beautiful people. I'm reuniting with some of my childhood friends. And so I'm saying this is part of bringing the community back. It's the community I grew up in. And we shouldn't make it just black. You know, we want to have as many Japanese there as black people there, because we're all one from one source. And so I'm thinking in the things that I wrote about why I'm doing this is when we all realize we're from one source, war becomes obsolete because people are not going to hate it, but I'm hating myself. So everything you do to somebody said, the ultimate of God's love is knowing that when you see somebody coming at you, you're looking at yourself. Because if you look at yourself, when you see somebody coming at you, there's no way you're going to call them a name.
Right.
You know, because we're all up into ourselves. So at least start that way. And you can break it, because media's got everybody, what they do, every time, if everybody's shooting everybody, they come in a room and now that, you know. So my point is the opposite is we have to become the opposite of what we've been taught. We don't know we're being taught. We think we're watching, but you're being taught by that.
Exactly.
You're being brainwashed by that. So the main thing I wanted to get over here today is, number one, there's a lot of good stuff on there, but you have to go to C-SPAN. You have to look for it. It's PBS. C-SPAN has two things where everybody that's got a book on Saturday gets it, and they have one guy once a week who has 3 hours to talk about his book. What station do you know gives a man who wrote a book 3 hours?
Wow.
But you will be, I give you a month on that diet, and you won't want to see that trash that you're looking at.
Yeah.
You know, where people come up and sing and can't sing, and then they embarrass them and say, you'll never make enough. What kind of put down is that in front of people that love you and know you? That guy might be weak and go home and kill himself. See, but that's that meanness. And there are a lot of good white people. Believe me, when I got to the Chronicle, those white folks protected me because I was the first black woman there, and those reporters acted just right because Scotty, my boss, the executive editor, said, just let me know if anybody says anything. And they knew he said that. And so they didn't touch me. They left me alone. So I have had a lot of very wonderful white friends. So I don't indict any one race. But what I'm saying is the capitalist system is what has been our enemy. You know. And so I'm saying that we're still here. We ain't going nowhere. We're going to live longer than everybody. And so we might as well start putting it to use. And you do it by coming together like this, hugging each other. You know, a lot of times you don't realize your body is just this wonderful, sensitive thing that when you hug somebody, everything lights up, you know. And you could probably, if everybody went out and hugged Alzheimer's people every day, they probably would stop being Alzheimer's. I really believe it. So there's so many ways that we can give to the community. It doesn't cost you, like I said, a smile doesn't cost anything. And I told my kids, hey, what about dream? I said, dream big. I said, it only costs a nickel to dream. You ought to see my dreams. I'm trying to get this thing to get on the road and end up with Nelson Mandela with the kids singing the song to him, if you have it my way. And so I have no reason to believe that it wouldn't. Yeah, so those are my dreams. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say.
Really wonderful.
Oh, well, no, wouldn't you so nice?
Now,